Hey fellow soul searcher, this painting is called The Truth Beneath Your Veil. It is an empowerment rebel against everything you were led to believe was wrong with you. You can see the veil as like a filter in which you experience the world through, and how you respond to the world. So your belief system, how you feel about things, choices and behavioral patterns, your triggers, and just how you navigate your life. And behind that filter, there's a truth. There's a reason for your choices. There's a reason for how your belief system, how you experience the world and the choices that you make. Something in your life that you've gone through that has led to this point. As we grow up, we kind of experience that there is this frame of acceptance that we need to exist within. This frame of safety. Like, it's safe to be me as long as I'm within this. That frame is shaped and defined by our caregivers based on where they have felt safe. And whenever we find ourselves outside of that frame, we learn the false truth that something's wrong with us or not quite right. Just as an example, maybe you learned through childhood that through how your parents and people around you met you, that your needs weren't important or valid. Maybe how you communicated those needs were in the only way you knew how to, maybe through acting out, or what was perceived by a parent as she just needs attention. And if you then were repeatedly disregarded or rejected for those needs, you also learned that your needs aren't important or not valid, that you're wrong for having those needs. And as an adult, if that's your fundamental belief, then it will be hard for you to express your needs, maybe even be in touch with your needs. But you'll still have those needs, and you'll still be seeking out ways of having them covered. But maybe it comes through people pleasing, for example, like doing something for someone else with the secret hope of getting something in return. Because that will feel like a safer way of trying to get it covered than to own it and express it authentically as your need. And sometimes other people meet us within their fear-driven coping mechanisms. Like, take, for example, that one guy in the office that is so arrogant that you feel like this big in his presence, and all you want is to just disappear because you feel so insignificant when he's around. What might help you then, so that you don't make it mean something about yourself, is to wonder, what has he gone through to make him that way? Maybe he experienced as a child, as many boys do, that it wasn't safe or accepted to show his vulnerability and show his sensitivity. And because he's experienced that as unsafe, he's gone to a behavioral pattern. He's gone to sort of the other side of that spectrum to hide his sensitivity. He's gone to the other side of that, like arrogance and exaggerated confidence. And not only will it feel safer for him to behave that way, but it will also feel unsafe for him to meet you at your sensitivity, because that association for him will also feel unsafe. As we adjust ourselves or find coping mechanisms to either hide, adjust, or compensate for, make up for whatever we think is wrong with us, we also deeply internalize this truth that something's wrong. We need to stay hidden from the world. And that truth hurts, and it feels traumatic. And it creates these wounds that are trigger points for us in certain situations. Healing starts with an awareness in these moments and daring to look within to find what's behind these triggering moments where we start behaving in certain ways or making certain choices that doesn't feel quite authentic. And these moments become like portals where there's an opportunity to uncover where that comes from and what's behind it. Just like the translucency of the veil in this painting suggests. To me, that veil in this painting and the way you can see through it is like an encouragement for you to look into what's behind it. The lion is a symbol of the strength that you need and also the empowerment that follows. I say strength because it requires a little bit of courage to look behind it. Remember, what sustains the veil is the very belief that something's not quite right with you to begin with. And whatever that is, you have a belief system where it needs to stay hidden from the world or adjusted for or compensated for. And if you're fully attached to that belief, lifting the veil would kind of be the same as admitting to that error that you think is there. And looking behind the veil would then possibly be perceived as a weakness. I don't know about you, but I know a few people who could really use therapy but would refuse because they see it as a weakness. And this painting for me is a reminder that it's actually showing strength. And the truth is, there was nothing wrong with you to begin with. What you will find if you look behind it is radical self-acceptance, because you realize that all the choices you make, all your triggers, all your feelings, everything, there's a reason for it. And the more you understand about yourself in that way, the easier it is to accept yourself as well. You'll also find unconditional love for yourself and for others. And you'll break the chains in your life because you find that when you understand why you work the way you do, it releases you from those chains, because you will no longer act blindly out of fear and out of whatever life has done to you. When I say unconditional love, I don't mean love without boundaries. I mean a capability of seeing past people's veils and understanding that their visible ways of being in this world doesn't define them. You'll be able to see past people's behaviors and choices and love them for what they are underneath. And maybe, just maybe, we are all one. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. If you're curious to see more of my work, you can find me at my website. And I'll see you soon. Bye.